It is my pleasure to raise for all of us to think and process and consider that Excelencia in Education, in all the years that we've done our work, has done this in cooperation and partnership with members of Congress, most particularly the members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. As a result, we get to meet leadership across this country. And what's really outstanding, much like the earlier introduction that I shared, is the deep commitment to community. My delight in this role that I play at this event is I get to really look at the bios. And so here with me are some of the fascinating things that I learned about our next speaker. A public servant of the people of Northeast San Fernando Valley, Representative Cardenas was raised with 10 brothers and sisters and still resides in the San Fernando Valley with his wife Norma and their children. Here in Washington, D.C., in our nation's capital, making things happen, always mindful of what is at home. Representative Cardenas was first elected to the California State Assembly in 1996. He went on to serve 3 terms in the Assembly and was later elected to the Los Angeles City Council. It's a repeat of the same process. In 2003, his engineering background and his business background prepared him for the day-to-day duties of an elected official, and his experience has allowed him to find practical and realistic solutions to difficult problems. Excelencia in Education had the opportunity to meet him when he first came to Washington, D.C. Elected as a state legislator, Cardenas focused on ensuring that his community received the programs and services they needed. And all of that compelled the good people of his district to make history, because in 2012, his election made him the first Latino elected to represent the San Fernando Valley in the United States Congress. Please join me in welcoming Representative Tony Cardenas.
Thank you very much. This is a wonderful, wonderful evening and an incredible organization. And I think it's really important for us to understand how important it is for us to give back to our children and educate them about the many things that they otherwise wouldn't learn. As I'm going to recognize someone from the San Fernando Valley who deserves the honor, one of the honors tonight, I want to point out that he's a member of IEEE. And that is an honor society, and you can only get into the honor society if you have the best grades, and then you get invited. But just to give you an example of what it's like to grow up the son of immigrants and parents who only went to the 1st and 2nd grade, when I was on that UC Santa Barbara campus as an electrical engineering student, I made the Dean's Honors List. First, I didn't even know what the Dean's Honors List was. I had to figure out for myself what it was after somebody told me I was on it. So again, just expressing my ignorance at the time. I was a good kid, a good student, but I just didn't know. And then later on, I got a letter from IEEE Honor Society inviting me to be a member. And then I thought to myself, I don't want to be a member of another club or something like that. I'm busy. I'm doing all my studies and stuff like that. So I didn't join. It wasn't until years later that somebody told me, hey, Menso, no, not Mensa, as in the geniuses. But somebody told me, dude, how come you threw that away? That you can only be invited. That means that you had good grades. I said, yeah, I made the honors list and stuff. So, but my point is, that's the kind of honor society that you're a member for life. But at that moment in my life, I didn't know. I didn't know how to make the right decision, a simple decision. All I needed to do was check off yes, sign it, and I would have been a member for life. So now I don't get the honor of saying that I'm a member of IEEE, but our honoree here certainly is. And that is S.K. Ramesh, who's the Dean of College of Engineering and Computer Science. He's at Cal State University Northridge, and he is someone who I met with already. As an engineer myself, I seek out people who are in the sciences to try to talk to them, especially people who've made a reputation for being a leader in the community, and certainly people who are focused on making sure that minorities, especially Latinos and Latinas, get the opportunities that they deserve. And what's going on over there at Cal State University Northridge is amazing. Cal State University Northridge is known as the #1 volume of people who get elected to be credentialed teachers in California. And I have 2 sisters who actually went to Cal State Northridge to become teachers as well. So I know that fact. But what I didn't know up until recently is due to the leadership of Mr. Ramesh, Dean Ramesh, they are doing an incredible job. They are now rising the level and the number and the percentage of Latinos who are actually graduating in the sciences over at Cal State University Northridge. Obviously, I would think that kids at Cal State University Northridge, when they get that letter to be a member of the IEEE, they don't throw it away like I did, because they have mentors. They have people who are showing them. They have people who are teaching them. They're having people who are encouraging them and giving them the kind of program so that they can get those good grades and prove that they are the best of the best, in which any one of our kids can be. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I don't use the word ignorance lightly, and I don't mean it the way some people might interpret it. Ignorance just means that you don't know. And this is why I wanted to be here tonight, to make sure that I thank all of you for being the kind of people to make sure that kids don't throw away opportunities. That they don't take something that is an opportunity and look at it and not realize what it is and just toss it away like I did. So I had to get to Congress the tough way. Not being a member of IEEE, but actually being a member of a community that I grew up in. And one of the things that I want to say, I love this organization because you're all about giving back and nurturing and teaching and growing and making sure that we as Hispanos take our place in society, certainly when it comes to STEM and STEAM and whatever other acronyms you want to call them. And one of the things that I will also add is that it's really important for us to understand that do not skip the opportunity, that every time any one of us talks to or has an opportunity to talk to a young Latino or Latina, do not assume that somebody else is imparting that information to them. Don't make that assumption. Talk to them. Ask them questions. Give them advice, whether they like it or not. Give them advice. Yes, give them advice. I have a 16-year-old who's with me today. Trust me. Trust me. Me giving her advice is one of the toughest things that I can do. I talk to President Obama. I give him advice. He takes it better than she does sometimes. But you get my point. Our young people sometimes can want to ignore us, but don't let them do that. The best thing in life, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't experienced this, is when a young person comes to you and later on, and sometimes you don't even recognize them because you met them one time, and they come to you and they thank you for being there for them. They remind you of the time that you talked to them. They remind you about the time that you gave them advice. And luckily, they took your advice. And because of it, they graduated from college. Or because of it, they took that opportunity and they challenged themselves to be promoted in their jobs, etc. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the best gift in the world. And you might not get it from your kids, but to get it from a stranger, my God, my God. Okay, first of all, I have 4 children. My wife, Norma, and I have 4 children. They're beautiful, beautiful people. And don't get me wrong, I might be joking a little bit, but they're beautiful and they're getting to the point one by one where they actually say thank you. But again, to be able to meet a young person, invest the time, whether it's 2 minutes or 20 minutes, or you exchange phone numbers and you mentor them, and then for them to remind you that it's because of you that they took that step. It's because of you that they decided to challenge themselves. It's because of you that they decided to pursue that dream that otherwise may have been a nightmare. Congratulations. That is what this organization is about. And I'd just like to thank Dean Ramesh. Thank you so much for your leadership and for everything that you're doing for all of our students, not just the Hispano students at Cal State University Northridge, but all of our students. Thank you very much.